Well, Michael, I was thinking that tonight we were going to talk about moon stuff because Artemis is on its approach. It's only like 4,000 miles away now, if you believe in these things and you believe that it's really happening. But during our 60-second intro, for whatever reason, Restream did it, but it didn't put the timer on the screen. So I think now we're going to talk about how we're all in the Matrix, and that was just a glitch in the Matrix.
The simulation is broken. That's, I think we can just all safely say it's full on busted. I mean, today NASA's like, this is the first time we've seen the other side of the moon. Wait, I thought we had a whole like Apollo, wasn't that a big deal? And we went to the moon and wait. No, I don't know. It's broken, Dan.
It is. Well, he's Mike, I'm Dan, and just like the rest of the world right now, we are 100% in the blind. It's In the Blind with Mike and Dan. How are you tonight, Mike?
I am all right. That was the part of the show normally where we dance, but that's the part where I cough. I've had a little bit of a mysterious cough of late. I don't know what's going on, but I think I went through puberty a second time, and so that's why I sound like this tonight. I don't know.
That was the original script for Club Sprockets on Saturday Night Live. Now's the time on Sprockets when we cough.
Now's the time on Sprockets when we cough.
Exactly. Alrighty, so yeah, like we said, this is In the Blind. So if you haven't been here before, here's the shtick. We have no idea what we're going to talk about. That is up to Beth, our producer. We have 2 topics from her tonight, 20 minutes each to debate and discuss. And then after that, we have our lightning true-false round, which is always a good time. And she promises me that it will be different because I've figured out her patterns. And supposedly there's no pattern anymore, which means there'll still be a pattern.
False.
Are we ready?
As ready as we can be for being completely unprepared.
Well,
which means not at all, but let's do it.
Outstanding. You good?
I'm good.
Give us topic 1.
Okay. Normally I'm not as on the nose with these things, but I kind of couldn't resist. So yesterday was Easter, and depending on how you celebrate, it can look very different. For some people, it's a deeply religious holiday centered around the resurrection of Jesus. For others, it's Easter baskets, chocolate, and egg hunts, sometimes happening in the same place, even at church. And that contrast is kind of interesting when you stop and think about it, because some of the most recognizable symbols of Easter, like eggs and rabbits, don't really have a direct connection to the original religious event. Rabbits don't lay eggs. Egg hunts aren't part of any sort of biblical account, and yet those traditions feel completely normal to most people. But this isn't unique to Easter. If you look at history across the board, a lot of traditions seem to have evolved this way. Different cultural practices, seasonal celebrations, and belief systems get layered together over time, sometimes intentionally, sometimes just gradually. And eventually you end up with something that feels cohesive, even if the individual pieces came from very different places. So it raises the bigger question. If traditions can evolve to the point where the modern version barely even resembles the original meaning, what exactly are we continuing when we celebrate them? Are traditions about their origins, or are they about what they've become?
Interesting. Are traditions about origins or what they've become?
Well, I just know that the Easter Bunny died for our sins in that helicopter crash. So
that was Kobe.
Well, him too.
The stone was rolled away, and there was an egg.
Is that what the egg rolling is all about? Is it the rolling away of the stone?
Maybe.
Is that what it's meant to represent? And the bunny is Jesus hopping out?
I thought the bunny had something to do with like more weeks of spring.
No, it's 8 more weeks of fall, I think.
Okay.
Ah, yes.
So or no, that's Labor Day. Labor Day means 8 more weeks of fall. I don't know. This is so confusing. Well, I will tell you this. If I recall correctly, and I want to think that I do, Christmas was actually put on December 25th because of pagans that were brought into the church.
Correct.
Yeah. So,
There
I mean,
was no original tree. The tree was a pagan symbol.
Yeah. Well, isn't this what everybody pushes for, is like this merging of cultures, being like multicultural and stuff like that? And so this is kind of what you end up with. So what happened before is what still happens now, I suppose, that you bring in all of these different things, and yeah, they all kind of meld together into whatever. I mean, the United States is really that. It's just one big amalgamation of 1,000 different things.
I used to joke about this, and I am still of the firm belief that it won't be long, and we'll have 9/11 blowout sale, 9/11 blowout sale. You know, it's going to be like, yeah. I mean, it's just going to be like, prices are collapsing, just like the towers. Like, we're going to just do, it's going to be just like that. We commercialize everything, Hallmark holidays and everything. But I mean, people will say, Happy Memorial Day. And look, I get it. It's part of it's just a colloquialism, and part of it's just, it's a holiday. And so everyone's happy on a holiday, and doesn't matter what it is. It could be, happy your grandma got run over by a bus day. I mean, it doesn't matter. People just say it because they say it. But holidays every holiday has a meaning behind it. But eventually it kind of gets washed out in hey, it's a holiday more than it is a celebration of whatever that thing was supposed to be about. So that's what ultimately winds up happening. Easter is, and again, speaking as the resident agnostic here, I mean, even I know the symbolism. I understand the religious nature of Easter, but listen, man, I always, even as a kid, I always went, wait, why do we have bunnies for Easter, and bunnies don't lay eggs? And why is Easter is basically like chocolate Christmas? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's Christmas with baskets and coloring eggs. But that's pretty much what we do. It's sort of like this, even 4th of July, we celebrate independence, but it's like that line in The Simpsons, what better way to celebrate a piece of what better way to celebrate the birth of your country than by blowing up a piece of it? It's like, we have this thing like, we shoot off guns in the air, and New Year's, it's the same thing to mark the new. Even Christmas now is just, it's presents, but another excuse to set off fireworks. So I don't know. Everything loses kind of its meaning in a sense over time, and except for some smaller groups of people, I suppose. Obviously, but that's sort of how society is. It's just like words. Words start to change and evolve with time, and then some words just get made up. Irregardless is now a word technically, even though
I don't like that one.
No, nobody does. Nobody with any sense does.
Well, irregardless of whether or not you like irregardless, Michael.
I know. Yeah,
it makes my skin crawl.
Hmm.
You were right, Dan, by the way. The egg rolling is rooted in the rolling away of the stone.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No, it's actually, but it was actually, it wasn't started by Catholicism. It was started in the UK.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's roll some eggs. Oh, all right. Sounds great.
The bunny, however, was because most people attribute it to the pagan holiday and the goddess of fertility.
Right.
Well, there's nothing more fertile than a rabbit. They're practically born pregnant.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah.
they're like tribbles.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I thought I was just being funny, not factual, but good to know.
Yeah.
Well, the real question you ask is, our traditions about their origins or about what they've become. I think they used to be more about their origins than they are now.
Yeah.
Especially if we look at the Christian ones like Christmas and Easter, those had very strong traditions, but they were, especially in Western society, but those were traditions that really took hold and maintained themselves when Western society was more openly Christian. Western society is still, and whether people like it or not, it's still built upon Christian values and beliefs.
Yeah.
But the worship of it is gone. So you put that in with all of the commercialization of everything, and I forget. I think it was Larry the Cucumber on Veggie Tales in one of the Christmas episodes said, and I quote, "Christmas is about getting stuff."
Yes.
And that's kind of what it's become now. And,
Yeah.
Easter is, as you put it, just the chocolate version of Christmas, and it's about getting stuff. Or in the case of what we did yesterday, doing our taxes and living through a couple of power outages. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame if you think about it, because when I look back when I was a child, and I don't want to talk about how many years ago that was, it was a lot, but there was a certain like magic and excitement that was in the air, because you could go to a store and it was like exciting to see like all of the Christmas stuff out and all of that. Well, we don't really go to stores anymore. And they start setting up Christmas in like August, so it doesn't really have any super meaning to it. From a religious standpoint, you went to church for those holidays, and those church services were generally more grand and more ornate and more celebratory and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nobody experiences that anymore. It just feels like the magic is gone. And as a parent, I struggled when my kids were young to figure out how to give them that magic, because all of the stuff outside of the home didn't match what I grew up with.
Yeah.
So it was very hard for me, and Beth, you can tell me if you agree with Eli and how, it was with him, trying to figure out how to make it exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, other than we're really good at finding deals so we could get a lot of presents, but then that's just to the commercialization of it. So I don't know. It's a shame, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, some of Christmas, some of the stuff is still, and the idea, the spirit behind it is still there. We're still, we get together as a family, and that's certainly part of a lot of these holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter. Part of it is still the idea of getting together, celebrating or sharing a meal, and on all of that. I mean, that's all wonderful, and Thanksgiving, all that stuff, it's still great. That part is still there, but it's the other stuff. It's the peripheral stuff that, obviously as an adult, it's going to feel different than when you were a child, because there's more responsibility to it. There's, as a child, you're not expected to go out and buy gifts for people, but as an adult, there's that. And then there's Thanksgiving. It's either we're gonna go out to dinner someplace, but I have to make the reservations, and and then there's paying for the meal, or I have to cook it at home, or I'm helping somebody else cook it, or we have to clean the house, we have to get everything ready to go, and it does feel different as an adult just from that perspective alone. But then just how society evolves and how society changes, and the meaning of these holidays. Yeah, it does. It just, like everything else, it's going to evolve over time. I've always joked about the 9/11, holiday blowout sales and all that stuff. But I mean, I mean this, I'm being facetious, and yet I'm really not, because look, would you have expected, many, many, many years ago, Memorial Day blowout sales and and Labor Day sales and all that? Well, no, but that's it. It's just become another excuse to commercialize stuff, because the one thing that we're always celebrating is the dollar. It's the it's the capitalist. It's the it's the deals. It's the shopping. It's that's one thing that we are always going to celebrate, or somebody will be celebrating. So that's how society works, I'm afraid.
So real quick to interrupt, not in a doomsday-ish way or even saying my direct opinion. I'll let you guys have yours. But you were talking about the church and its role in trying to bring other people in, hence with like the pagans and the trees and all that kind of stuff. I just verified this to make sure that I wasn't misspeaking, because they do try to be factual on the show. But this was the very first time in the history of ever that the king or queen of England did not issue an Easter message. But King Charles did issue a message for Ramadan.
Dennis Rodman?
Yes.
Gotcha. Well, there are those who believe that King Charles is actually a practitioner of Islam.
Yeah.
Which maybe he surrounds himself with a lot of those people. But so he heads a church. He is the official head of the Church of England.
Yes.
A church that purports to have a Christian faith.
Yes.
And he did not issue any kind of Easter or Christmas statement.
Not Easter.
Easter statement.
He didn't issue an Easter statement, but he did issue a statement for Ramadan. And this is the first time ever that the Church of England, the head of the Church of England, did not issue an Easter statement to the people.
That says something right there. If the leaders of society can't practice the traditions, then how do the rest of us? I mean, the rest of us can do what we want, I suppose, at least until the person in charge puts the boot down upon us. But yeah, what a horrible example to set. That really bothers me. And it's not like, it's my country, but in the same respect, this is the head of a Christian church.
Yeah. Who
does not acknowledge one of the biggest days in the Christian faith. Yeah, we're broken.
Yeah. The simulation is broken.
Well, this is like, we've been there 1,000 times, the enshittification of the world. This is yet another example, in my opinion, just the complete breakdown of just simple traditions and replacing them or adding to them with ridiculousness. Like Ashley put in the chat, President's Day. Okay,
yes.
but Columbus Day, Juneteenth, Memorial Day, I like Labor Day, whatever. There's like something every month and none of it has a meaning. That's part of the problem too, is we're overly saturated with these days that we're supposed to celebrate. But what is there to really celebrate? Especially if it doesn't have meaning.
Yeah. Well, and one way to make things lose meaning is when everything gets commercialized and when it becomes something where we turn it into kind of a joke, right? Or a meme or a whatever. And then we just start inventing stuff. We just start making up stuff. I mean, that's what goes on too. And Look, I'm not the morality police on what holidays you should be celebrating. Look, for me, I celebrate Easter. Am I a Catholic? Am I a Christian? No. But to me, it's an opportunity to get together with family. It's an opportunity to share time together. It's an opportunity, for the kids. It's an opportunity to, they can still do all the fun stuff with the Easter eggs and all that, that's fine. But again, this isn't about a religious thing. This isn't about, I do think it is weird that King Charles, this is the first time that the King or Queen of England hasn't made an Easter address. That's weird. I mean, even I think that's weird. And again, not
I think it's weird.
Religious. Yeah,
English.
As Michelle says. Yeah, as Michelle says, it's a tradition. And sometimes traditions, even something like that, it's still when someone breaks it for whatever reason, it's strange, and there's really no good reason to change that tradition. And again, far be it from me to be like, oh, we have to follow every tradition all the time, the same way, always. No, but something like that's kind of a big one, right?
Well, yeah, and I think we should follow the big ones, because just take it a little bit deeper here. The one benefit of having traditions, having things that are done relatively the same over and over and over again, is that they're grounding for us.
Yes.
They're like a touchstone, you know what I mean? They're a place for us to go to, or an event for us to go to, rally around. They help define us. So when you start taking these things and you pull away from them completely, or you give them new meaning or all of that, I think it has a deeper effect on us. I really do, because those are things, at least it used to be, those are things that regardless, or irregardless if you prefer, of what of what your background was, what neighborhood you grew up in, black, white, boy, girl, whatever, there were just certain things that were universally loved.
Yeah.
Christmas, New Year's, 4th of July, Easter, Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Those are kind of the biggies.
Halloween.
Those are like the biggies that everybody could get behind. But if they lose their meaning, if they lose their prominence, then, there's forever now been this push, to be this multicultural society and pull everybody together. But if you don't have those common threads, then it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And there's something every month here in the United States. The only month that doesn't have anything is August. Somebody has to come up with something for August. But every other month has at least one thing.
Yeah, true.
It's insane. So there's too much. So it's diluted that way. And then when you pull away the meaning, there's just, it loses its ability to tie us all together.
Yeah.
Which is probably the saddest part of it all. Because you can't even take the commercialization of it and say, well, Christmas isn't about God anymore, but doggone it, we all go shopping and get presents. Well, not everybody, because not everybody can afford it.
Right.
But if you had the story behind Christmas, everybody can afford the story.
Yeah. Well,
because ultimately it's a story of hope.
And I know people are going to say, well, not everybody celebrates Christmas. Look, Jehovah's Witnesses maybe. Look, and you can say Jewish people, but every Jewish person I know has always celebrated Hanukkah and Christmas. I mean, because people like celebrating things. I mean, people enjoy, that's the other thing is, we don't have to make holidays or special occasions exclusive to one group of people. You talk about multiculturalism, Dan, but I mean, we can still celebrate other cultures' holidays and give them meaning and value without tarnishing them. Yeah, without like trying to turn it into some stupid meme joke slogan, but I know, but we've kind of done that anyway. I mean, it's kind of, horse is kind of out of the barn on that, but I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's a weird place, but I try not to look at it as a complete loss. I still try to look. Christmas can be very stressful. It really can, but
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. It just It went from joy to everybody's stressed out.
Yeah.
Right. Well, again, when you become an adult, things change. I mean, obviously, the wonderment, the wonder, and the beauty of things when you're a child obviously changes when you become an adult. And there's a reality and a responsibility, as I mentioned earlier. But even so, you can still embrace it and enjoy it, even if there is, an expectation that you have to do this or that, or, that we're, maybe we're going to grandma's house and we really don't want to go there, but we're going to do that, or we're going to travel, or we're going to do, but I think sometimes maybe we just overthink a lot of these holidays. And maybe that's part of the problem, is maybe we've just complicated everything. We've tried to pack everything in. And again, some of it has to do with the capitalist, like we have to, commercialize everything, and we have to have, Thanksgiving. It used to be we had a football game, then it's 2 football games, then it's 3 football games, then it's, and then there's NBA games, and let's cram as much sports and as much stuff into the day as possible. And, well, we can't really, sitting around the table and eating as a family, well, we can't really do that because we got to make sure that we're going to still have the games on. And, and that's, we've turned it into that, And again, don't think I'm some anti-fun guy that wouldn't go over to somebody's house and watch football, because absolutely I would. I'm just saying, if we're talking about maintaining tradition, it's a little bit harder to do that when there's all these other distractions going on.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we went a little over on that one. Sorry, Bethy.
It's okay. I also wanted to interrupt, Dan. You said that August is the only month that there isn't something. I just pulled it up. There's a laundry list of things that the U.S. celebrates for the month of August.
Like officially?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Or is it like there's something every day because of Hallmark?
Like National Hamburger Day?
No, National Black Business Month.
Well, those aren't holidays.
World Cancer Support Month. National Immunization Awareness Month. But my point is, there's still something that's going.
But not something that results in a postal holiday.
No,
Yet.
No. But you were saying, but you made the point of the months. Like, there's obviously February is Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
So there already are months that have been in our culture long enough that we remember what they are.
Yeah.
Sure.
As if it's a holiday.
Well, yeah.
Even without it.
Postal Carrier Awareness Day, and we get the day off.
My point was, there's more of that out there.
Gotcha.
Right. No, yeah, for sure.
No, I acknowledge that. Speaking of post office, by the way, in case you didn't hear, starting the 26th of April, all of our postal rates for packages are going up 8% for a fuel surcharge. So everybody enjoy that.
Yay.
That's something worth celebrating right there.
It's almost as if actions have consequences.
Go figure. All right, what's next?
Okay, so you guys kind of already like went into this lane, but it's what I have, so I'm throwing it out anyway.
We'll just bend it into something else. It's fine.
Don't make me laugh. I got a cough.
So if traditions can evolve over time, sometimes to the point where they barely resemble their original meaning, it raises another question. Why do humans create rituals and traditions in the first place? Because this isn't limited to one culture or one time period. Across history and across completely different societies, people have consistently created rituals, whether it's religious ceremonies, seasonal celebrations, or even small personal routines. And a lot of those rituals don't necessarily serve a practical purpose in a logical sense. They are repeated behaviors, often symbolic, sometimes highly structured, and yet they persist. Even in modern life, where we tend to value efficiency and logic, people still hold on to rituals, morning rituals, holiday traditions, superstitions before big events. So it raises a bigger question. If rituals aren't always practical, why are they so universal? What do they actually provide that keeps people coming back to them?
Well, I think the answer to that is that humans, we like routines. We are still grounded in setting ourselves to various routines, traditions, to various. We like to have things to look forward to, and then within that, I think and it helps to identify us, as a kind of separate cultures. I mean, as much as we talk about harmony and unity and togetherness, and we're all just one big happy family of people, but we like to have kind of our own individuality as well. And what better way to do that than to kind of develop our own cultures and traditions and ideas and of course, it's sure beats working. Well,
You and I both work on holidays.
Yeah. I last holiday I took off was it's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah, but still, the point is that that's what we like to do. We like to have things to look forward to. We like to have things that kind of define us as our own individual cultures, as our own kind of group. And then sometimes we feel like it's good to, to honor other people that we've propped up in our society, and we have sort of that we have our own religious stuff. We have our. That's why we have these things. Even if we bastardize these cultures, we're never going to completely lose them. They're just going to evolve over time. But eventually they'll probably go full circle. They'll probably come back to where they started eventually. Who knows? I mean, who knows what Christmas is going to look like in 500 years? So it's hard to say. I don't know. This is just one of those things that I think people need that. People need to have these things.
In 500 years, they will tell the story about how Jesus came out of the test tube to save all mankind.
Jesus was 3D printed.
Oh, heavens.
Created by a conglomerate of Grok and Chat GPT. Oh my gosh.
What? AI is actually the X factor in all of this. Get it? I said X, AI. But no, but it is kind of an X factor in all of this, though, because as we rely more and more upon that, how much will that change the story? I hadn't even thought about it. It wasn't where I was going to go, but that's a question mark. But, you ask the question, if rituals aren't always practical, why are they so universal, and why do we come back to them? And for me, I think it comes down to the idea of shared stories. There
Yeah.
is comfort in shared stories, shared stories, whether it be just locally with like your small group or your community or your church or your whatever. They have a sense of letting you know that you're not alone
Mhm.
and that you're not crazy, even though you probably are. Um, you know, they're a bond. And I think that's why people keep running back to them and why it's so important and why it's so dangerous, in my opinion, to so quickly change them and move away from them. That's part of the issue that I have with modern society right now is everything is happening way too fast. And it doesn't give us a chance to adapt and evolve. If the story of Christmas changed over the course of a couple hundred years, we wouldn't notice it.
Yeah.
But when it changes over the course of a couple of years, it's shattering. You know, we're all off balance all the time now.
Yep.
We're all stressed out. We're all pissed off. Nobody can maintain a relationship anymore. People struggle to maintain a job. And, you know, they'll blame the employer, and half the time that's true, but the other half it's their fault because they suck at what they do because they're so stressed out and not paying attention to what they should be and everything else. There's just but I think part of it is the fact that everything is moving so damn fast. Too fast for us to adapt and to be able to handle it. And part of that is just the breakdown of the rituals, the traditions. I don't.
Yeah.
The brain can't deal with it.
Yeah, there is no come home from work. We have supper at 6 o'clock.
Dead.
No, none of that.
We work at home, and frankly, it's dead for us.
Yeah.
Right. Michelle talks about it all the time. You know, we don't sit around the table and eat. You know, we have dinner and we'll sit and watch TV and eat dinner and or one of us will eat and the other one won't, or the other one will eat later, or even if we do, we don't sit at the table. I can't remember the last time I mean, yes, yesterday, you know, we went and ate and had, you know, Easter dinner, which, you know, was the, a very traditional dinner of getting Chinese food. And, you know, we did sit around the table for that. But I mean, outside of those special occasions, no. But again, I will say these things are still important for, to me, if nothing else, if there was nothing else to anything, Christmas or Thanksgiving or anything, it's, for me, anybody that always invites me, I don't care if you know, Jewish, Hindu, Christian, Catholic, Buddhist, whatever, you say, come over because we're friends and we're just gonna, whatever you're celebrating, I'll be there because, hey, you know, it's a time to get together. It's a time to appreciate each other. And if, you know, and sometimes maybe people just want to have holidays or they want to have traditions just because they want to have that excuse, that opportunity to get together. And sometimes we need that because it's not just enough to say to somebody, hey, why don't you come over and have dinner? We have, you know, we'll have a holiday. It's, hey, it's, you know, it's Pie Day. Hey, it's National Burger Day. Let's go have a burger. Let's go out and let's go to, you know, let's go to some place and grab a burger and a beer or whatever. You know, I mean, that's just, I guess that's for me, that's part of it too. I don't know. It's.
Yeah, you know, that's an interesting point. Other people's traditions. So there used to be a time too where your traditions were one thing, but you could get to know other people by experiencing their traditions, and it could help you understand them, and it could help you relate to them. But honestly, that would by default be dead now too, because it's not like you're going to go over to, as an example, your Asian neighbor's house and necessarily experience their traditions around a holiday, because odds are they're probably not practicing them anymore either. So it makes it harder to understand their culture and their ways, because their culture and ways is falling apart too. So again, how does that help us? How does that help us come together? Because it's not like we've got some kind of other thing that binds us. It's not like we've said, okay, here is American Christmas, for example. So we're all going to learn how to do American Christmas. Well, American Christmas is just buying shit. But the problem is not everybody can do that.
Yeah.
So it just, we're messed up. I don't know what more to say other than we're messed up in so many ways.
Yeah. No, I think, you know, a lot of times on this show, I start to come to the conclusion that when we really do these deep dives into these heavier topics, or these, you know, when we scratch below the surface, I come away with the idea that, yeah, you know, things are a little bit broken. And by a little bit, I mean, they're really broken.
Well, I see that over on my other channel.
Yeah, well,
it's like all I deal with is broken.
But it's designed over there because that's you see people that are at, you know, on the court, you know, the courtroom files. We're talking about people that have allegedly done something wrong.
Potentially one of their worst days ever. Yeah.
Yep. And now here they are in a court, either for first appearance, or they're in a hearing, or maybe they were found guilty, and here we are at sentencing. And you know, so various stages of the justice system, and the justice system in and of itself is broken. That's another topic. But within that broken system, here are some people that may or may not be broken themselves. And, you know, but that's at least over there. It's kind of like, well, you expect it, right? You expect to see it. But when we just dive into a topic over here, it's like, I don't always expect to come out going, hey, you know what, man? We're kind of screwy, all of us. Like, what? We're all kind of messed up. I don't know.
I brought it up, Mike, because one of the things we talk about over there is how overrun the system is.
Yeah.
And how there's more and more people coming in front of it. And I wonder, you know, as we're sitting here talking about the loss of traditions and and how it might be losing our minds, I just wonder if that's another piece of that puzzle in the bad behavior. Again, I think that these common stories, these common threads that evolve through holidays and the traditions around them and the practices around them, I think a lot of that stuff being ripped away is just driving the madness. That's only one piece of it, but how big of a piece is it in driving the madness? I'm kind of sitting here wondering if it's a pretty big piece.
Right.
Because
yeah,
we can't understand ourselves as well without it. We can't understand others as well without it. You know, I don't know what it is about this iteration of the world. And maybe I'm wrong because I didn't live in the last ones. However, there's a lot of literature and I've read a lot. And it feels like there was a lot more common threads back then than now. It feels like this iteration of society thinks that they know everything. And that what they believe is 100% right. There's no reason to debate it anymore. And I don't know. It just,
to me, one of the ultimate ironies of the world today is that we have never been more connected than we are now as people. We have never had more access to each other. We've never had more access to information, never more access, period. And yet we are more disconnected in some ways than we ever have been.
Yeah.
And that is truly a sad aspect of the world today. Now, again, it's not to say everybody's that way. And I'm not suggesting that everybody go out and find a religion and find a culture to latch on to so we can start building traditions. I'm saying maybe in order to get some of this kind of back on track, all we have to do is maybe understand each other a little bit better. And, you were talking about, maybe you go over to the Asian family and you talk to them, or maybe we talk to each other a little bit more. Maybe we try to listen a little bit more to one another. I don't know. Maybe that's where it just starts.
Well, yeah. And it starts locally. We've talked about that before too. Just, being able to, but neighborhoods are broken. Nobody neighbors anymore. Instead, the HOA.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be friendly with our neighbors. We're not gonna go knock on our neighbor's door and say, "Hey, I've got concerns about this." We're gonna write a complaint and not actually get to know the people that are around us. So if we don't get to know the people that are around us, how do we ever get to know people who are even at a further distance? Somehow, in the community that we've built here between In the Blind and TCF and your weather discussion community and all of that, and kind of how it's all merged, we've managed to build a group of people that seems to respect each other and have conversation and whatnot, even though it's at a great distance. But that's the exception more than the rule. But I will agree with you that this damned device right here is the death of us. And it's ironic because right here in my hand, I have the infinite knowledge of the world and nobody uses it correctly. But I'll tell you what I've been doing the last couple of weeks. When I've had time, I've been auditing my phone and I'm going through and deleting apps that I no longer use or don't use enough. And the ones that aren't absolutely critical that I have the information right this moment, I'm silencing all the notifications. Because it's a time suck that does no good and does not make me a better human being.
Well,
there are better ways that I can spend my time.
Yeah. And I think the funny thing about this device is it is a way for us to connect to one another. It is a way for us to better understand each other. I think there's so much community that we can build and we don't even have to be in the same room. And there's so much understanding that we can do toward one another. And there's so much, we can help each other out, if we're down, if we're having issues. And all we have to do is reach out or tell someone. But instead, what are we doing? Some of us are doing that. I'm not saying that nobody is, but a lot of us are just doom scrolling, we're we're just reading bad news. And why are we reading bad news? Because bad news is more prevalent on all these different media outlets because, more people tend to read bad news, and we've monetized the reading of bad news because, bad news means more engagement, and more engagement means higher confiscatory ad rates. And so we've sort of, society has sort of built itself around a negative loop, and that's unfortunate, right? Because again, we could use this. The device itself is not bad. In fact, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
The internet is not bad. The internet is, it's, if used wisely, like anything else, if used it can be it could be the greatest thing. And in many ways, it is the greatest thing. I mean, we sit here and poop on it, but I mean, there's a lot of, again, the knowledge is there. You have access to all this information. You have access to people. You have access to, But instead, it's like, well, let's see. Let's see. Let me watch. Let me. I don't know. Let me read about more about who's dropping bombs on who, and let me yell at somebody that doesn't agree with me over here, and I mean that's what it's become.
Well, and you're right. We're sitting here kind of crapping on it, but we've also, I think you and I have proven that you can actually have this and do it right and build
absolutely
good communities. So it does work. But we talk about traditions. So everybody look at the screen. I'm going to demonstrate for you the modern tradition. Oh no, he didn't. What? Damn.
You needed a.
Let's go out to McDonald's.
You needed a bro in there somewhere.
Yeah, well,
I got McDonald's right here. I mean, what do you think?
But that is the modern tradition. 2 seconds per video through TikTok, a couple of surprise reactions, and then let's just throw away the rest of the day.
Now, I mean, I still want people to watch videos because I'm a content creator, and this is part of that content. So by all means, sit here and watch this and say no, he didn't while you're watching this. But after that, if it's not a Mike or Dan related product, I mean, it doesn't count. So don't bother.
No, I mean, look, obviously Mike and I make our living with this. So, but even we recognize that this situation, if not done properly, is destructive, especially when it seems like in a lot of ways it's helping to replace the traditions and the rituals, I think was a word that Beth used, that grounded us. We're unfortunately grounded behind this technology where the majority of people just don't use it right.
Yeah.
And so here we are. I don't know. Please bring us something fun because I'm sad now.
I'm going to go to Joe's House of Myth. That's where I'm going.
Right. Oh, that'll pick you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, itbshow.com. Go get your Joe's House of Meth t-shirt, people.
Yes.
Everybody must have one. Must have two, actually. One to wear and one to put up on the wall because it's a conversation starter whenever everybody comes over. But nobody comes over because we don't neighbor and we don't have traditions and we don't sit around the table anymore. But get one anyways. Get two.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, maybe that'd be a way to get things started.
It would.
Or at least you could have the tradition of, hey, it's Friday night. Let's all go to Joe's.
Yeah. Yeah. Tweak at Joe's. Yeah.
Eat at Joe's. Tweak at Joe's. That's great.
Exactly. That one's coming, by the way. I'm working on that design.
Yes.
Ashley says the end IQ lowered 50 points. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll try to remedy that.
All right.
Are you going to explain the next section?
Yeah, well, sometimes you've had like things to say, so I didn't want to step on you. You've been working on these transitions.
Well, I have, but they only work if it flows with what you guys are talking about, and you just said you're sad, so I don't really have a good comeback.
Speaking of things that are very sad, this isn't.
No, this should be fun. So yeah, true false round. Here's what happens. We have 5 questions. There are 3 minutes each for Beth to give us the true or false and for us to decide if it's true or if she's lying to us. I've seen patterns in her. She says the patterns are going to change, which means there'll just be a new pattern. So are we ready, Michael? Do you have your rule sheet?
Oh, yes. Let's see. Over here somewheres. All right.
Got it?
Yes, I have it now.
All right. Mike has rules for this. Like one of them is if it's in like the 14th century and it's ridiculous, it must be true.
Yes.
All right.
He was rummaging around back there. It sounds like he found a fry or something.
Maybe. Good for him. All right. Ready?
Yes.
I do have dinner here, but
Go. Number 1.
Sharks can smell a single drop of blood from miles away in the ocean.
So I've heard that's true, but you always lead with a true, and you told me it would be different. So that means this might be an old wives' tale told by old wives or people that are afraid of the ocean.
Or afraid of sharks.
Now I've got the Baby Shark song in my head.
Sorry.
oh god.
That was not my fault.
No.
I don't know, Michael. This is true.
It sounds true to me. Well, first of all, it falls into the rule of nature is weird. And that's pretty weird. And I've heard that too. And yeah, I've always wondered if that's actually true. I know that sharks can, well, and in general, a lot of things can sense blood, even a small amount of blood for a long distance. I don't know. I'm still going to go with true. I still think it's true just because I know I've heard that before.
So here's where I'm going to go false, and that's the use of the word smell. You really don't have smell in water.
Oh, yeah.
So they might chemically sense it.
Okay.
Yeah,
They
maybe
might
this
have-
is,
they-
you know what, Dan, maybe you're right. Maybe this is one of those semantic things where like it's not really smell. It's, you know, yeah, it's like a detection,
Yes.
but not
I'm thinking it's
necessarily a
false 'cause it's not a
smell.
smell.
Okay, yeah, I'll buy into that. Yeah, I'd say it's false. But I mean, I think it's true that they can sense blood in the water, not necessarily smell from that distance, you know. Yeah, so yeah, based on semantics, I'll go false.
Yeah, I think the problem is with the word smell. All right, I think we're locked in on a false on this one.
Okay. It is false, but you guys got it totally twisted wrong.
Doesn't matter, we're right.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
do smell in the water. Okay. So sharks are incredibly sensitive to smell. They can detect tiny amounts of substances in the water, but they're not sensing blood from miles away like some kind of underwater radar. What they're actually doing is following scent trails carried by ocean currents, and that usually only works within a few hundred meters under the right conditions. So it's not like a paper cut is going to summon the sharks from across the ocean, but they do actually smell underwater, and it's low concentrations, like parts per million. So yeah, and like I said, it has to do with the tides and everything else. So everything has to be perfect for them to actually be able to smell that.
Right. I mean, I knew they could smell, like, you know, a lot of sea creatures can smell, but yeah, miles away just seemed, yeah, impossible. Although, again, nature's weird, but
Nature is very weird.
even
Really?
nature has limits.
Were you just trying to look me up and prove me wrong?
No, I wanted to understand it. So sharks actually do smell.
Yeah.
The water carries the smell.
Uh-huh.
Water enters the shark's nose, passes through internal olfactory sacs, and is analyzed.
Yep.
Huh.
I think you were hoping for a gotcha there.
Well,
Yeah.
whatever. We still got it right. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
It's
You
just-
both learned something though.
Yeah. Well, are we supposed to disclose that on this show? I thought we talked about that.
Well, wasn't Ashley complaining that her IQ had lowered after the first half of the show?
That's fair. Is your IQ higher now? Let us know. Let us know in the chat. All right.
Are you
right.
smarter than when you started watching this show?
Are you ready for number 2?
I am.
Yes.
All right. Number 2 is always a shitty question, but let's go.
There are ants that farm other insects. keeping them and harvesting resources from them.
Really?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. Is it true or false?
Well, I know there are ant farms.
Yes.
But I always figured they did like tiny corn and stuff like that.
No, this is about other insects.
Huh. Well, there are insects that can mess with the brains of other insects, as I recall.
Yes, we've talked about that on
We
the
have.
show, actually.
So I would buy into the fact that they could then like use them for their own purposes. Which I, speaking of being used for other purposes, remind me after the show, Mike. I heard a story today that's totally conspiracy theory, and it's very interesting. And I don't buy it, but it's a wonderful story. I'm gonna go with true on this one.
Yeah,
ants are evil. Ants are the product of the devil.
Ants were forged by Lucifer.
Yes.
I mean, really. There are a few things that I can guarantee you, whether you're religious or not, some very, very evil, or whether it's Orcus, whether it's Asmodeus, whoever it is, created ants are like top of the fire ants in particular, top of the list of evil creations.
Mm-hmm. I think Ashley wants the question again.
Oh, there are ants that farm other insects, keeping them and harvesting resources from them.
Yeah. That feels like a true because they're evil. Those suckers are going to be like 3 feet tall too after the nuclear apocalypse.
Yeah.
It's gonna like mutate them.
There's going to be ant and roach wars, and it's going to tear this world asunder.
Ants versus the killer bees.
I know how World War III will be fought, and World War IV will be fought by the ants and the roaches.
Yeah. Possibly dive bombed by some bees.
Perhaps.
Got to remember those shrimp though with that
moth.
punch.
Oh yeah, the shrimp with the boil. Yeah. And that beetle.
Crazy.
Yeah.
With the boiling. Oh, the beetle with the boiling and the hay with the grabbing and all that sort of thing. God. This is some ants are evil, and I'm totally gonna buy it.
True.
Okay. It is true. And it's basically a tiny insect agriculture. This is really weird, and I didn't know this myself either, so maybe you guys will find it interesting like I did. Some ants raise aphids like livestock. They protect them, and they milk them for a sugary substance called honeydew. So yes, ants figured out farming way before humans did.
Huh. That's messed up, man.
It is. They transport them between plants. They protect them from predators. It's
wow.
So are the billions of bacteria on us actually just farming us?
Probably, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, they eat our dead skin cells, so yeah.
Neat. All right.
Ants are still evil, though. I mean,
I'm glad we got that right, but I'm not happy about it. It's too weird.
It is weird.
Yeah.
All right.
Nature's
I'm
weird.
Picturing ants milking something. That's the part I can't get over. That's the visual that is stuck in my head.
Y'all want some aphid milk? Just milked it myself.
A little bit of that in your coffee in the morning. Perfect.
Oh, Lord.
You know, we were thinking when we moved to Home 2.0 that we might get a goat.
Yeah.
And have goat milk. Maybe we just need ants.
Ant milk?
Aphid milk. Yeah.
Nope.
All right. Number 3?
Yes.
Go.
And this one is, I guess, timely because of the NASA stuff. There are more trees on Earth than there are stars in the Milky Way galaxy.
That doesn't feel true to me.
No, that does not feel true at all. I'd say that is... There might have been a time on Earth where maybe that was true, but, well, I don't... Not in the Milky Way. No, I'm going to say that's false.
We have
That's because-
deforestation combined with the expanding galaxy.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I would say that's a big old false.
Yeah, I don't see how that can be true, which means it is, but I don't see how it can be.
I don't see how it is either because there's, I mean, untold, there's just in the Milky Way alone, what is there? Hundreds of millions of stars. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a lot of
trillions of trees.
Well, there's a lot of trees still on Earth, but first of all, not as many as there used to be, and I just don't. I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm false too.
Okay, it's true. This one sounds fake, but it's true based on current estimates. There are about 3 trillion trees on Earth, and scientists estimate somewhere between 100 and 400 billion stars in the Milky Way. So yes, Earth is actually out here quietly outperforming the entire galaxy.
3 trillion. Where are they?
There's still a lot of land.
Well, they're not in my neighborhood because we're not even allowed to have grass here. So.
That is true.
I mean, we have trees in my neighborhood, but I mean, I think 1 trillion is a lot, man. I mean,
yeah, and there's about 3 trillion of them.
Okay, I think about my neighborhood, right? And the fact that Earth is only 30% land. And we've cut down most of the forest. There's still some left, sure. But even like in the densest of forest, I mean, how many trees are there per square mile? I just can't fathom 3 trillion trees on this planet.
If you picture seedlings and then go up from there.
Well,
if you count that as a tree.
I guess. Maybe. Even that, it's still hard to fathom.
Tree, but
what's a cute little baby tree?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems.
Got to feed it that aphid milk because it's all it can digest.
Exactly.
I got me some of that aphid milk. Y'all want some? Going to the last drop. Hey, based on how grocery prices are, we might have to all go to aphid milk pretty soon.
Well, they're already trying to feed us the damn bugs. Don't give them more ideas.
Yeah. The beetles that's coloring the yogurt.
Bug milk. I will give you this public service announcement one more time. I know I did on a past show. Avoid the ingredient acheta.
Yeah, because that's ground up beetles.
That's bug.
Yeah.
You'll often find it in chips and protein bars that are supposed to be healthy for you. You'll find it in that. Whole Foods is filled with acheta. Don't shop at Whole Foods. Number one, it's your whole paycheck. Number two, they're feeding you bugs.
Maybe I like bugs.
Find a farmer's market.
We generally eat bugs anyway. Don't we eat like 8 bugs a year or something?
Well, I mean, you can go to Thailand and eat bugs, but they don't try to hide it.
No.
So.
Well, we had bug the other day, but it was sea bug.
Yeah, sea bug.
Sea bug.
Sea bug.
Delicious.
And nutritious. Okay.
All right.
So that was 4?
That was 3.
3. So now we're on 4. Okay.
Yes.
Ready?
Uh-huh.
All right, go.
During cremation, human bodies can sometimes sit upright due to muscle contraction.
Ugh. Ugh.
I haven't gotten him to throw glasses in months. This is good. Yay.
Well, they're in a box, so they're only going to sit up so far. Unless they didn't pay for the good one and went in the cardboard box, in which case they could probably break through. But then they just bang their head on the top.
They're not always in a box.
And they just lay back down.
They just come to life. How dare you burn me?
I've always said I want to be cremated. If this is true, I don't.
Yeah. This is a conversation I have with Michelle. She's like, well, you don't want to be burned to choke. Why would you want to be? I'm like, well, I'm dead. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to care, but I mean, I don't want to necessarily be cremated, but I'm dead. So I guess whatever happens, happens. I mean,
Just make sure when my time comes, Beth, that I'm like super dead before you do it.
Super. Yeah. Well, let me.
That's all I'm asking.
Let me fester for a little bit just to make sure, because
Yeah.
According to some of the religious texts, some creatures rise from the dead again. So, man, maybe I will. I mean, who knows? Anything could happen.
It is possible.
It's probably true.
It's dumb enough to be true. I mean, I wouldn't think it's possible, but it doesn't make sense. But because it doesn't make sense, I'm going to say it's true.
This has put so many bad images in my head.
I know. That's all I can think of.
This even makes like the Holocaust even worse.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It ruins everything.
You said the quiet part loud. Like, what?
Yeah. I wasn't going to go there. You went there.
Oh, it's true, though. Yucky.
That's
bad, Beth.
That's
bad.
That's nasty. That's nasty.
Now I don't want to be cremated unless I'm like strapped down.
Oh. Well, I don't know if I mean, I didn't want to be cremated anyway, but again, I'm dead. I mean, I guess if I sit, I mean, unless something happens and fire brings life, you'll be like the phoenix rising from the ashes.
Was the story of the phoenix right all along?
Yeah.
Are we bringing people back to life and then instantly killing them again? Can you imagine the horror of that?
I have been reborn in the fire.
Oh, ouch. Stop it.
It's like Mordor.
Ouch, that's hot. The flames on my bum. Ew.
Oh, good God.
Ouchie with those burns.
So the timer went off, and I don't think I have an answer from either one of you.
You come out of the cooker, you walk out, and you're like, anybody got some aloe?
Gonna need some aloe for that burn.
It's true.
Yeah, it's true.
Does it make the phrase sick burn mean something totally different?
Yeah.
Sick burn, bro.
True.
Yeah.
What about you, Michael?
Yeah, true.
It's false.
Thank God.
Thank God it's false.
This one sounds like it's straight out of a horror movie, but it's not exactly how it works. Heat can cause muscles to contract and bodies may shift slightly, so they could move around a little bit. But the idea of a body fully sitting upright is a myth, so no, cremation is
still moving around is enough. I mean, still twitching.
Now you put the image of Jiffy Pop in my head.
I think that's worse. Oh, you don't sit up, you just have a seizure there.
It's not a full-on jump scare though.
I'd rather have the jump scare. The seizure, I mean, if you've ever seen someone have a seizure, that's worse, man. No. Okay. Well, this is one time I really wish it would have been true.
I wish you wouldn't have asked the damn question.
Or that. This is one time where ignorance is bliss. Learning is a good thing, but I might rescind that idea. Like, learning is a good thing, asterisk. Asterisk. Not always a good thing.
Yeah, so now it's just Jiffy Pop for me.
Jiffy Pop bodies.
Me.
They're in the little cooker. There's a bunch of people like this over the stove.
See, what we didn't realize is those old songs like Jimmy Crack Corn meant something totally different.
Yeah, but
I don't care.
Yeah.
All right, number 5?
Yep.
All right.
We are on the last one.
Thank God. Go.
Ancient Romans used urine as part of their dental hygiene routine.
Well, by your rules, Michael, that has to be true.
That has to be true.
And Wahoo wants to take a field trip to the crematorium? What's wrong with you? I liked you, too. You're twisted, man.
He wants to see if it's true, and you know, I mean,
I can't wait until we get to the Halloween episode of the show. It's just gonna be outstanding.
Is Halloween on a Monday or Wednesday? I'm gonna look.
It doesn't matter. I'm doing a Halloween show. There will be one.
June, July, August, September, October.
I think it's on a Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday.
Okay.
My birthday's on a sidebar night, though. All right.
Ooh.
What was the question again? Oh, urine and dental health.
Ancient Romans used urine as part of their dental hygiene routine.
Well, one of the things that they'll do in the field is they'll use urine for like wounds and stuff.
Yeah, aren't they?
I don't even want to go into
yeah. Oh, what is it? Eel bites or something like that? Like electric eels. You're supposed to pee on it.
And I remember, all I remember is baseball players like Moises Alou would allegedly pee on his hands before a game, and like to help with, I don't know, something with gripping, and I don't know. Like,
so
I've never heard that one.
So this is like into the traditions that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. See.
Yes.
That's one tradition.
Lesser known one.
Yeah.
But
you know, sometimes it's not bad for traditions to go away. Some traditions we can, you know, as a society we can afford to lose some of them.
Like the bird beak doctor.
That one. That's a great one. Yeah, we don't need that.
Anonymous tells us that the pissing on a wound is for a jellyfish sting.
Oh, jellyfish. That's what it is. Thank you so much.
And whenever we hear these things, I wonder about how exactly we go about figuring this stuff out, too. Oh, I got bit. What do I do? And somebody's going, oh, we can piss on it, see what that does.
Yeah, let me whip it out and try.
Oh, my. This is probably true.
Yeah, I'll say it's true.
It is true.
Of course it is.
It needs a little context first before
Does it?
You think?
Everyone panics. But the ancient Romans used urine, sometimes even imported urine, as a cleaning agent, including for laundry and occasionally for teeth.
Did you say imported urine?
Imported.
Okay. So
the Romans were buying it from other places.
So international trade back in that day.
Spices and urine.
Okay.
Yep.
Get that good like French urine or
maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
Okay, continue.
So laundry and for their teeth, because urine contains ammonia, which can break down stains and act as a natural cleanser. Now, to be clear, they weren't brushing their teeth the way we do today, but urine was absolutely used in hygiene practices all the time. So historically speaking, dental care included some very questionable decisions. And doesn't it kind of make you wonder about the phrase natural products? You know, when you read the labels and it says contains natural ingredients. I'm just going to leave that there for you to think about until the next show.
I mean, one of the products I use for my face is like that snail slime.
Snail mucin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not.
It actually works. But it's just an excretion.
Yeah.
That I happily rub on my face because it keeps it from flaking all over the place.
But it's not urine.
Yeah, it's still probably gross though.
Yuck.
But I'm not drinking the snail mucin.
No. Well, I don't think
they're getting it anywhere near my mouth.
I don't think they were drinking the urine.
Although Ellie loves it. After I put that stuff on, she's licking my face like crazy. She loves her some snail.
Protein.
Yeah.
Well, cats have their own weirdness. I mean, that's as Freya's behind my monitors right now. Oh, now she's over here.
So I'm hung up on the import.
The imported fact. Do you want to know like where it was imported from?
Well, no, I just want to know why. Like, were they just looking for the cleanest product possible? Were they getting it from like Tibetan monks or something?
Hang on.
Michael is speechless.
I don't even.
I think you broke Michael.
I don't even know, man. I don't even know if I want to know this answer. Why?
Historical references suggest that urine from certain regions, like Spain, was considered higher quality, and they traded for it.
Oh, well, I was close. I said France. So that good European urine.
Fine sample procured from Spain. Yes.
So the next time we see Lindsay, we'll have to ask her if she's acquired any good European urine while she's over there.
So locally, the urine was collected in Rome in public collection pots.
European, all right. Yeah.
Just let that sit in there. And there was a tax to buy it, of course, because why not?
Why?
Yeah, the Spanish urine was implied to be stronger / better for whitening teeth.
Okay.
So yeah.
I don't know. I am befuddled by all of this.
And you said they like collected it like publicly?
Yeah, there were public collection pots.
Okay, so that's where the pot to piss in came from.
Yeah, probably.
So we've solved that.
Except they apparently used to tax it, so.
Have you paid your pee-pee tax today?
What's the Spanish rice dish?
Pilaf?
No. The one with like the chicken and the shrimp and the I need to make it again. It just reminded me. Talking about Spanish piss reminded me that I need to make it again.
Give me a minute. My brain just went blank.
Yeah, mine went blank too.
All natural.
Stand by.
And the saffron. I still have some saffron. I keep it in the safe because it's like worth more than gold. Paella, thank you. Thank you, Nina. Yes, paella. Drew a blank for some reason. It's been that long since I made it. But we have everything to do it, so we should make it. Maybe this weekend.
I don't know how you went from Spanish imported urine to paella, but okay.
Well, because I was thinking about their diet and what it was about their diet that made their urine so preferred. What was it that has their bladders so clean?
It could be the seafood.
It could be.
Yeah.
Could be their dishwashing detergent. Who knows?
Well, this definitely fall in. It was part of my rule set about,
if it's old.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's got to be true, and I don't think, and disgusting also.
Yeah.
The teeth whitener.
All right. Well, on that note,
dentistry.
Now that we all know how to have whiter teeth and cleaner mouths, just get that good Spanish urine. That's probably a good place to call the show for tonight.
Perhaps.
I hope you've all had fun. We have. We're all a little frightened now. A little weirded out by.
Gonna hide under the desk.
But it was fun anyways. So do us a favor. If you have not already, smash, gently tap, whatever it is that you prefer to do with your like button. It's a private thing. I know how you treat your like button, but do that thing that you do. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Go to itbshow.com, sign up for the newsletter because then you get the show notes, and pick up your Joe's House of Meth t-shirt while you're there. That will help support the show, and we would appreciate that.
Yes.
Any other thoughts, Michael?
I'm going to be looking at dentistry in a whole new way.
Right.
Forward.
All right. So, yeah, we'll be back Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. You can find me tomorrow over at the Courtroom Files at 6 a.m. Pacific time, my time, 9 a.m. Eastern. And you'll find Mike over at the Phoenix Weather Discussion whenever Mike chooses to post his video tomorrow.
Yes.
And that is it. Thanks, everybody. This has been fun.
Thank you so much. Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
But I'm a little weirded out, so
I'm very weirded out.
I'm going to go cry a little and then make dinner. So bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.